Hang on. We're working on it. How's that? Gotta love it. Hoping it sounds okay. Hoping it looks okay. Does it look okay? Okay. Is the microphone on? Does it seem like it's working? We're gonna hope it's working because hope is all we have when it comes to live streaming from these mobile devices. Hey, Sean. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out for a minute. It's Tuesday night, and it's the Tuesday night stream. And I wanted to say thank you for being willing to spend a moment with me. I sincerely appreciate it. But beyond that, what I've been thinking about these past few weeks, I don't know a happy way to say this. I've been thinking about death. I've had a few friends very close to me mourn some things lately. I've been adjacent to it. And then beyond that, all of October, with all of the daily Stoic stuff that I read and the Ryan Holiday stuff, October was focused on meditating on one's mortality. And it's something I've avoided as somebody who was raised Christian. There was like a fear of it. And I don't have the healthiest of relationships with the idea of death. And meditating on my own is something that I've avoided, and it freaks me out, and I'm still coming to terms with it. But if one can come to terms with that and meet that head on, there's benefits to that. And I think Ryan Holiday talks about in The Obstacle is the Way, meditating on your mortality, and the example he uses, and the reason I keep bringing him up is because I think it's a good example, and I'm not here to plagiarize anybody. But what he talks about is there's people who have near-death experiences, and in the wake of those near-death experiences, they have these epiphanies and their life changes, and they find happiness, and they quit jobs they didn't like, and it's this clarity of life is precious, life is a gift. And his point is you don't need to have a near-death experience to come away with those same lessons. It gets harder to avoid those lessons when you have an experience like that, but if you put your head in the right space, you can realize the same things about how fleeting these moments are. And I talked about that. This has informed my past month of live streams, and when I talked about sunsetting a client, I said, if I only have 1 week left, would I work with this client? No. If I had 2 weeks left, no. If I had 3. So it's that sort of clarity of like, we don't have unlimited time. What do we want to spend it on? And here I am in my basement once again talking to my phone because this is what I want to be doing, because there is value in this to me. But as I've thought about my own mortality as of late, one of the things that has been bothering me is my open-ended projects, my incomplete projects. And I've felt as I've struggled in the past month or so, I've taken the kids show, which I've been working on, and I've felt this dark sense of gloom about it, of what if something happens to me before I finish this project? What an absolute tragedy that would be. And it would be. We put a ton of work into that, and I would hope that somebody would pick up the torch and finish it and carry it and see my vision through. But everyone's got their own stuff. No one's going to do that. And it would just fizzle out. And there's tragedy there. And that has put me in the spot where I've been hesitant to do other things because it's like, I really want to finish that first. Then I'll focus on the next thing. And I wanted to play music the other day. And again, my time is very limited right now because I am on paternity leave and I am just on call nonstop. And today I held a napping daughter for 2.5 hours so that she would nap. And that's 2.5 hours that I can't edit, that I can't play music, that I can't do anything other than hold a cute sleeping girl. And it's put me in the spot where I've been hesitant to start a new project because it's like, I really need to finish this other one. And I do. But I think my mindset was getting to this place of like, I don't want to start something just to leave behind an unfinished project. Whenever I go, there will be a last video. There will be a last live stream. And that's utterly macabre to think about. But it's true. And I've let that stop me from pursuing other things. I've let that stop me from continuing to create, and I've let it put me in a space where I'm only working on one project. And the problem with that is, for somebody like me, if you're only working on one project, if you're not in the mood to work on that project, then you just don't work. Then you just don't create, because you meet a friction point. And if you instead have multiple open projects and you hit a friction point on one and you say, you know what, I'm going to switch gears completely and I'm going to go work on this little thing for a little bit. You get energy from that. You get excitement, you get fulfillment, or perhaps completion from finishing a smaller, easier project. And then that momentum can bring you back to your other project. And I've made videos about this before, but looking at it from the other side, it's not about using these other projects to complete your big project, as I think I've been looking at it for a while. But I think there's something exciting about, whenever you leave this world, leaving a bunch of open-ended projects. Because I think it'd be more tragic to work on one big project, finish it, and then not make anything else. And you were just done. And I think considering my legacy that I'm trying to build inactively, looking at that, I think it's easy to say, yeah, I want to do this thing, but if I were to finish it and then not start a new one, I think it would look like, oh yeah, Sean did that one thing. But I think it's a more authentic version of myself to say, yeah, Sean was doing a ton of different things, and he'll never finish all of them, and that's okay, because pursuing all these different things is exciting. Each one of them brings a different element of learning, of inspiration, of perspective to me, and therefore to my other projects. And like when I work on music, it affects my videos. And when I work on videos, it affects my music and my art, and all these different things. And my photography, it's all tied together in these different little phases of growth. And so as I try to zoom out and say, what do I want my legacy to be? I want it to be a bunch of incomplete projects. I want it to be a bunch of complete projects too, but I don't want the fear of starting something that I might not finish to stop me from starting that project, because I would so much rather look at just a laundry list of things that I've started, not ideas for things I might start, but true projects that I've started, that I've made progress on. I'd rather look at a huge pool of those types of projects that I've started and not finished than to finish my work with nothing open, because an open project is about growth and aspiration and eagerness and initiative. And without an open project, you don't have those things. And with only one project, you have one version of those things. But by diversifying the open projects you have, you put yourself in an exciting place. And I think to say that's the way I want to die, and again, I get that this is dark, but this is where I've been for a while. That's one way to put it, but the other way to put it is, that's the way I want to live. I want to live with open projects, and I want to live with things on the horizon and trips planned, and so much potential and excitement for what's to come, rather than trying to just be prepared to go at any point with my bag packed. I want my stuff everywhere. I don't want to go out with a neatly packed camera bag and everything in its cases on the shelves. I want to go out with a mess. I want to go out with unfinished work here and there, with things that somebody might look up and maybe somebody would pick up and take, and my kids one day would pick up one of my projects and take it in a completely different direction and finish it. That's so cool to me. And that's the way that I want to live my life. And so it is with this in mind, and this shift in my mentality, that I am announcing seems dramatic, but sharing that I'm going to be starting 2 new limited run series on my YouTube channel. And let me take just a second to do this right, because I'm trying to figure out, come here. Here we go. Starting 2 new... Great. I wanted to make sure this was working and to see if there were any comments in here as I do this. So I'm starting 2 new series, each of them serving sort of opposite sides of the same purpose. But the first one is a series of creative challenges for you, for the viewer, and for me. And these aren't limited to video. There'll be multiple disciplines in here, but I want to do like 10 or 12. There'll be short videos. Everything will be a video prompt explaining what the challenge is. But I want to take something that prompts you and me to be vulnerable, to be to shift your perspective on what you're creating, to give you iteration on the things that you're creating, to give you an opportunity for growth and refinement within your creativity and within your art and your skills. And lastly, maybe just to provide some sort of inspiration, and not like the I'm here to inspire you, but by doing something, you inspire yourself to create more. And so this is sort of a self-inspiration. And so there'll be little challenges, things to do, maybe prompting you to share something, but maybe just doing it to have done it, share it with your friends and on the honor system. I don't want to collect anyone's work here. We're not grading anything. The point is to attempt something, and nothing in this is going to take very long. But the goal would be that you would swallow your pride and do one of these things, try one of these things, or try all of them, and get something out of it, whether it's a complete little something, or whether it's lessons about what was the hard part. What was this about music? If you're not a musician, there was something approachable musically. How does that affect your graphic design? How does that affect your web design, your writing? What are these interconnected pieces? Because there's a ton of them, and everything that I've done, any class that I've taken, anything where I continue to push myself, I find ways to connect those dots that I didn't anticipate. And an example I'm very excited about, next week I'm having my first dance lesson. I'm taking dance classes. My wife gave me dance classes for my birthday, and I'm so excited about that. And I know that I'm going to enjoy learning how to dance, but I also know there's going to be little pieces of collaboration, of rhythm, of timing, of teamwork, of choreography that I'm not familiar with that are absolutely going to resonate with what I do in photography and video and music and these other things. And so each one of these creative challenges will be designed to knock something loose, to shake something in you that will give you a little skill, but also inform your other disciplines in a way that is beneficial. So that's one side of this self-improvement. And the other side is the efficiency, productivity, mental health side of things. And this alternative, we've got the creative side. This side is more to instill some happiness in you, some increased efficiency so that you can work on different things and handle multiple projects, and sharing some of the things that I have studied and built and tested over the past few years especially. But beyond that, to reduce some anxiety. And doing art and trying to get paid for it, there are things you can do to do it better, and to be a better person while you do it. And so we'll work on the creativity, but we'll also work on this personal improvement side of things. But these will be separate, so you don't have to do both. But I'm building this to be beneficial and complementary on either sides of this. So the more personal, less creative, more personal thing, focus on happiness, efficiency, reducing anxiety, inspiration. But instead of inspiring yourself, the goal would be to inspire others with this side of things. What can you do in your life that somebody else would find inspiring? And that comes a lot from how you build and manage yourself and your own career and personal life and find that work-life balance. And in that, then through that, finding more clients, having more time with your family and your friends, and ultimately making more money, which can be a fantastic thing. So I've studied these two things a lot and been through a metanoia myself in the past several weeks, really like 2 or 3 months. And no, 5 months. Final answer. In the past 5 months, I've really been diving into this. And I'm eager to share it. But beyond sharing it, I'm eager to distill it down and analyze it myself as I continue to push through this and why. And to bring this all together in the end, the big thing here that ties this all together, I think was summed up by a video I saw late last night of John Mayer talking about why he gave up drinking. And it boiled down, he said he had drank and was hungover for a few days, and he was like, how long do I want to feel like this? And the question that he posed to himself was, what percentage of my potential do I want to reach? And it was such a profound question, but you can look at tortured artists and high achievers. Like there's such a spectrum of people out there, and those who can manage themselves well and push themselves well and continue to iterate and be creative and grow have happy, fulfilling careers and families and lives. And the people who cross their arms and say, no, I already know how to do what I do and I don't need your help and this wouldn't help what I do. That mindset is a shortcut to an absolute lack of growth. And it's so limiting. And so my goal with this is to challenge myself to say, I want to be a creator. I am a creator. I want to be a better creator. I want to keep getting better at it and keep learning by doing different things. And in doing that, how can I become as close to my full potential as I can? And it's a combination of these personal resources and these creative exercises for me. And that mix back and forth is what makes all of this possible for me. And it's what has me excited about this journey that I am continuing on now and will hopefully forever continue on until I leave this world behind with a bunch of open projects and excitement and lessons learned and happiness shared and yeah, just good vibes and happy people. That's all I got. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, if you watched this far and you leave a comment about what I should name either one of these individual series, whether it's the creative exercises or the more efficiency, productivity, mental healthy side of things, let me know, and I'll send stickers to people. I'll send some Boom stickers out there, and our new Authenticity Empowered stickers that Mac Mercury made. But yeah, we'll share the love because I'm excited about this. And spoiler alert, some of the creative challenges involve collaboration, and that's what we're here to do. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Again, have a great day or night or whatever, wherever. See you later. Bye. And due to this setup, I have to get up and walk around, turn off the camera and stuff. Thanks. How does this?